Hey everyone, Ryan Desch here, broker owner of R&K Real Estate Solutions here in Lawrence, and I'm sure everyone saw the Lawrence Journal World article this weekend concerning housing affordability in Lawrence and the historically low inventory that we're facing. And that article was in response to a letter that was drafted by the Lawrence Board of Realtors, specifically our Governmental Affairs Director, Danielle Davey. Thank you, Danielle. And so I was part of the Governmental Affairs Committee that discussed this letter that we sent, and the Board of Directors which approved it. And we've been ringing this alarm bell for years with the city, and we kind of have the feeling that a lot of what we've had to say is sort of fallen on deaf ears, unfortunately. But inventory is historically low. We have less than a half a month of supply. I mean, if that, even at this point. Average price in Lawrence in February 2021 was up to $260,000 for a single family home. That's a rise of 8% over the February from the year prior. And there's a lot of multiple offer situations out there. It's really hard to say that this kind of growth is sustainable, though I think most realtors would say it's not quite like the 2007, 2008 bubble. But there's lots of worrying signs, lots of concerns that we have, and I've got some specific solutions that I'm going to outline in this video, some suggestions for the city of Lawrence. And I mean, before I get started with that, the first suggestion is I beg the city of Lawrence, city staff, city commission, please listen and hear what's being said and take it into consideration. But I'll get started. My first solution is we need to put the brakes on Horizon 2040 plan. Just put the brakes on it. We've had issues with this plan from the very get-go. It needs to be completely reevaluated. We need to prioritize infill and annexation equally. And we need to remove the community benefit from the Tier 2 section of that plan, where it specifies that a developer or builder has to provide a community benefit to the city in order to be considered for annexation. And instead, there needs to be incentives and instead of mandates. Mandates only add the cost of housing to the consumers. So no mandates, more incentives. That's my first solution. Second solution is partner more closely with interested parties, realtors, builders, developers, community groups, neighborhood groups, neighborhood associations. We need to have a relationship between us and city staff and commission. And unfortunately, particularly with the city staff, I believe from my experience, has been pretty frosty between the realtors and the builders and the city staff. We've been seeking a seat at the table for years, and we haven't always felt that we've been really given a solid position at the table, despite the fact that we have a lot of expertise in this area. And we think that when it comes to making decisions like this, the city should rely on opinions of local experts. And I emphasize the word local experts in that. That's an important thing to recall. Keep in mind. Solution 3, we need a complete re-evaluation of the city's building codes, zoning, policies, fees, permits. I'm not a builder, so I don't have firsthand knowledge, experience of all these things. But what I've been told from my experience is that Lawrence has a lot of red tape. It is one of the hardest locations, if not the hardest location, to be a builder in the state of Kansas and turn a profit. And that you go just about anywhere within 5 minutes drive of Lawrence, and the cost to build in other communities is significantly less. So solution 3 would be a complete re-eval of all of the policies and procedures and red tape that it takes to build affordably in Lawrence. My fourth solution would be to investigate subsidies and to create public-private partnerships for projects going forward. And I think for these we could consider like TIFs or CIDs, PUDs. If you don't know what those acronyms stand for, you can Google them. We need to look at higher density in the urban core, and I think in order to accomplish some of that, I know some people may not like or agree with this, but we've got open air parking lots downtown that should probably not be open air parking lots and should be mid-rise buildings. So I think that there are a lot of creative ways that we could forge public, government funded and privately funded partnerships to look at new ways to tackle the issue of housing affordability within the city, and more effectively fulfill that infill priority that I talked about earlier. And so those are my four solutions. That's not an all-inclusive list, of course. That's just kind of four things that I was thinking about today, thinking about this article. And I'll add one other thing, that what Katie and I do at R&K Real Estate is, talking commission. This isn't the perfect solution. It's not going to, make the biggest difference, probably not nearly as big of a difference as some of the other things that I talked about. But, we offer full service real estate, and we don't charge nearly as much when it comes to real estate commissions. So, that's one small piece of the affordability puzzle that, we are directly trying to tackle with the business model and the vision of our company. So, something really important to think about, all options should be on the table. And for us, that one's close to the chest, and we think it's part of the solution. So, that's my video today. That's that. I hope that the city, begins to take this more seriously, because, like I said, we've been ringing this alarm bell for years. We're now ringing the crisis alarm bell. It's no less than that at this point. And I think that the spirit and the character of our community is partially at stake with this. I don't want to be too over dramatic, but this is a very serious issue. And when we're getting to the point that, I believe, teachers and police officers and manufacturing jobs that the city's trying to pull into Lawrence that are critical to the economic health of our city, when those folks are having trouble finding housing and they want to find a single family home to live in and they can't find one affordably, that's a serious critical issue facing us today. So happy to field any questions on this if anybody has. I got lots of opinions and hopefully more solutions as we get into the future, but appreciate everyone watching the video today. See you next time.